All right, what is up, guys? We have Paul and Marcelo. Heck yeah. In the AI coding class. And today, here's what we're going to do is we're going to be talking about AI software templates. Okay. And so in this class, Marcelo and Paul showed up. You guys don't know, but you guys are going to be getting a free software template. And basically this is something that me and a client have been working on behind the scenes. And this is over, like, I would say over 10,000 lines of code, probably way more than that. Like, that's probably an underestimation. But this is quite a bit of code. And what I've done is I've had the AI code this whole entire thing. And then we ultimately have a dashboard that we're going to be able to build software from. And this is the starting template. Okay, so here's what's really cool. I'm going to share my screen. And this is what's wild is when we look at this is all the behind the scenes code. Okay, so this is all what makes it work. All right, but if we were to actually look at it, ultimately, what is a software? Okay, what is software? All right, software, 99% of the softwares have a login, have a create an account, right? You have to be able to sign up. You have to be able to log in. If you forget your password, you have to forget your password, right? Like 99% of those are the same thing, right? Like we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We just have to plug our stuff in, right? Does that make sense? Do you agree with that? Right? So if I click on login, right, this is my login and I can log into this. Well, let me show you what it looks like if a user was to log in, right? So let me hit create an account. I'm just going to sign up. I'm going to add one of my Jeff@myaiteam.com, add a password. All right. So 99% of softwares have a sign up, a login. Once you log in, you got to create an account. Then you have to have a dashboard. All right. So if you look at this is a dashboard. All right. So I just signed up to my software in a few seconds. This is called eventcalendarbuilder.com. This entire software was coded up with AI. Okay. This is connected to a database. This was an idea. The reason why I even started this idea is we have a client that needed calendars, and she needed to be able to have all of her events, like these coaching calls. She needed to be able to have those and then be able to also have the replays of the coaching calls. Okay. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to build a software. She wanted it to connect to a Google Sheet. And I was like, the Google Sheet wasn't working. I was like, you know what? It's easier just to connect this to a full database. And this was less than a week ago that I came up with this whole idea and plugged it into the software. Okay, so you can see right here, if I click on this is the calendar builder. This is inside of here. Well, if you look at this, let me show you. If I hit log out, there's some other things that go with all of this. You see how I have my branding, login to event calendar builder, and this is the login. Well, I'm going to log into my other account. Well, check this out. You see I have all of these tabs on the left-hand side? All of these tabs, right? You see it says admin shit, right? Right? This is all my admin shit. All right. So if you see right here, I have what's called the tab manager. All right. So this entire software is managed basically by, like, we don't have to recreate the wheel, right? This is my admin manager. And you can see all of this is the dashboard. So a lot of the times you're going to need these little stuff on the left-hand side. You're going to need your admin area. You're going to be able to need to set up your branding, right? You're needing to be able to have, you see how it says events online made easy? Well, we have a branding area to be able to set your tagline, to set your company name, to set when you were founded, your headquarters, your website URL, the visual identity. So this sets the whole entire logo of your software. If I scroll like this, it has mobile version. And now here's a whole entire little mobile version for you. All right. So this is your like dashboard, but here's what's really cool is this. If we go into this little tab manager, this right here is what sets this calendar. So you see how we have this little calendar? Well, I could have like user permissions. So we could set like the user permission of this. And now we could say, is this user a paid user, like paid, lifetime, admin, and then they get access to this page. All right, so this is how we set the pages right here, right? This is a little headline. We could add like menu items over here, and we could say, right? I could say, right? I could say my AI team. And then if I add a URL, watch what happens. We could iframe. I could choose icon. I could say robot, right? Now we have a little robot, right? And I can hit save, and it will save all changes, and I can refresh. And then we just added this little tab right here. Well, now if I click this iframed the entire My AI Team software into this software.
Yo, that's dope.
Right? And now it's gated, right? So literally it's basically like the tab manager, right? If we also have down here, we can have premium. So these ones, if you're paid or if you're lifetime, you get access to the premium ones. You hear how it's an admin menu? These ones are your admin menus. So now this one's called admin shit, right? You can name yours whatever you want, right? So, but these are all my admin menus over here. And now I could essentially have my branding, my webhooks, file upload, like these are all. And then we have over here, this is the data manager. So this is your entire database, and this is a window into your database. And so now you could come in here and you can manage all, I have all my users, right? You can see the passwords are all protected. I have my events, which are the ones inside my event calendar. You can see all my calendars. Like this is my branding. This is my entire database, but I created a code that's a giant window into the database. So you don't have to sit there and go into the database all the time. If I was to go into the database, well, this is what the database looks like. Right? So this is my PHP, my admin. Well, this is all the database. So instead of us working back here and connecting this, well, guess what? I just put it in a beautiful little dashboard. And now we could edit it in here. We could see all of our calendars. We could edit the records right here. So if you ever need to edit it, there's a nice little edit record, you know? Like these are the things that you're going to need with every single software. You're going to need an admin dashboard. You're going to need something called a webhook manager. All right. So in here, this might be super advanced, but this is where I want you guys to go, because ultimately I want you guys to not build these as hobby tools, right? Somebody the other day said, are you guys just a bunch of hobby coders? And I'm like, bro, this is real software. If you know how to sell this, this is it. So now all of a sudden what the webhook manager is, if you have, anytime you get a customer or you purchase in something like Go High Level or something like this, you can webhook, which means send the data from Go High Level or wherever they purchase into this. And then you could mark the user paid. And this is what creates it, right? Here is all of this stuff. And so here's this thing, as you guys are on this call, this is going to be a template that I sell for $1,000. Okay. This exact template. In fact, I've already sold to the person, my client that bought this template. He purchased this so I could build it for his business. He wanted it so I can make it where it connects to Go High Level. He could build his software in here. You see how we have this software right here and we have this little thing? Well, let me just show you, right? Like, let me just show you guys this. All right. So this is inside. Let's go inside a spot. My AI team. If we click on the code snippets. All right. One of the things that I made this weekend. Let's see. I made a lot of things. Okay. So let me see. I made a game. All right. I like to make games. All right. That's just what I like to do. All right. So sometimes. All right. So here is a 3D version of Snake. All right. It's a top-down 3D version of Snake. All right. The entire thing is full 3D. You can see somehow it has the background. I didn't code up any of this. AI did the entire thing. And now I have a 3D Snake game. All right, you can see like there's like rainfall, like it's like all this crazy cool stuff. All right, well, here's what we're gonna do. What happens if we want to add this to our software? All right, so you see how I can hit view code? All right, I can hit view code and I can hit download file, or I could just hit copy code. All right, this just copies this entire code right here. All right, and watch what we're going to do is we're going to go into our file manager. All of this looks crazy, all right? However, the more you are familiar with this stuff, the more you're going to learn, right? Marcelo said he's watching everything that you need to get started with coding with AI, and he says it's a lot. It's over his head. It's a whole bunch. Well, that's why I'm glad you showed up to these coaching calls, because this is essentially where you're going to learn this. Nowhere else, like I look at videos in YouTube every day. Not many places can I find someone that's teaching AI coding on how to deploy the entire thing and create hundreds of thousands of lines. Let me show you guys this. This right here is one of my most recent codes. This is 4,007 code. And the AI is working with me and going through with this. This is just one code file. This is just be able to manage the calendars that I have. Sorry if it's lagging. It's a big file. All right. So literally, like, this AI is coding and updating this entire file back and forth, updating it 4,789 lines of code. And that's just one code file in this entire dashboard. All right. Well, how do we add a new file? Right. So if I go in here, this is our C panel. Okay. So this is something new. Okay. So our C panel, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to hit file, and I'm just going to hit snake.php. Okay. That's it. This is adding a new file to our server. Okay. And then the file is going to be called snake.php. I can name this whatever the heck I want to name, but it needs to have the .html or .php at the end. Right. I can name it snake by Jeff. Right. Like, I can name it whatever I want. This is my own file name for me internally. Does that make sense? Okay. Like, this is just me naming it. So I'm just going to name it snake.php. Well, if I hit create, if you scroll down, it just created this snake.php. You see this snake.php. Well, if I hit edit and I go to this page, you can see this is a blank page. All right. There's absolutely nothing inside this code. Well, let's actually go to this website page. Right? This is on my domain called eventcalendarbuilder.com/snake.php. Okay, if I hit enter, it's completely empty. All right, like, there's nothing here. All right, because why there's nothing here is because there's nothing here. Right? Well, if I hit save, well, now look, there's still nothing here. All right, there's nothing here. All right. So there's still nothing here. Okay. So you can see how we can edit the file. Okay. Well, now what happens if we want to add code? Okay. So if I go back and do my little snake game, all right, in one of my bajillion tabs. Okay. If I go back into my snake game and I hit copy code, right? Well, I could come into the snake file and I could paste 491 lines of code that the AI coded, and I could hit save. And then if I refresh this little snake page, well, now we have the game on live instantly on my server. Like, instantly. Like, the AI coded up, and this could be a medical relief site. This could be a software that you deploy. This could be anything. Well, how do we add this snake game into our software? Right? Like, that's what we're here for. I gave you guys a template, right? We're not here to play games. We're here to add this snake game into our software. So watch what happens. If I come into here and I go to the tab manager, I could now go to add menu and I could add snake game. In my little URL, I just put snake.php. And then icon, I could see if there's any snake icon. Nope. How about a game icon? Oh, there's a little game. All right. And now I can hit save. And I can refresh the page. And now we have snake game. And if I click the snake game, we just added the snake game into the software.
So this basically gate manages people that be able to use it, and who's keeping track of, like, sort of like a accelerated form of a CRM.
Nailed it. And this is the software portion of it. So you can connect your CRM, which is the webhook manager. It might be a little nerdy, but I'm willing to get on a private one-on-one call for you both, since you guys showed up to this call with me, right? And I'll make sure you guys can get this set up. All right. And we'll set it up to your CRM or wherever you're having your customer purchase, which is Go High Level or Stripe. And you'll be able to add your little softwares in here, right? Whatever AI codes, this, you're right, it gates it for you. And now you're able to have all your software in here and you can sell it. You can see how there's the premium tools. Well, if I sign in and I create an incognito window, right? And we go into eventcalendarbuilder.com/login and I log into my other user, you can see it has the snake game here. All right. Well, this user is not a premium user. So watch what happens. We could do, you see how there's premium tools right here? Well, we can go to tab manager and I could take this snake game and let's see if I could drag it down to that one. No, I think the only drag works in there. All right. Well, I'll just add a new menu and I'll just add this over here. Add this. Let's go game. All right. And I'll delete that one and I'll save that one. All right. So now if I refresh, it moved it from here down to here. All right. Well, if I go over here, you can see it removed it from here. All right. Well, now watch this. If I go to my data manager and I go to this user and this user, you can see right here, if I want to make this user, so let's just go to the tab manager, only the people that get access are paid to this one, right? They have to be a paid member. All right. So if I go to my data manager, the webhook could automatically, right? When you do the webhooks, it could automatically basically change. You see how I have this little webhook? It could change and catch that webhook essentially to change that field essentially. Okay. That part's a little nerdy. So, however, here's what it does, right? It will change that to a paid. And if I update that user in my data manager, in this user, this is that user right here. Well, now they're no longer a user. So I'll come over here and hit edit, user type, paid, save. Oh, look, fatal error. Ah, don't judge me. All right. God. All right. It didn't work. All right. Now I'm going to have to update it. All right. This is embarrassing. All right. So here's what it should have done. All right. So, all right. All right. It broke everything. All right. So, all right. I'm going to have to fix this. All right. So,
in theory, it should have updated it to a paid member.
Yeah, ultimately, it should just update to a paid member. Yes, correct. That's all it should do. So, why it didn't do that? Let's see. Great question. Let me just make sure she has all of these fields not empty. Oops. Let's cancel that. And maybe that's the issue. Hopefully, that's it. 1, 2, 3. All right. Save change user. Let's do paid. Save changes. Yeah, it worked. All right. So it might be because some of those are like, they must be filled, right? So now you see how it updated, and now we have this, and now this would be like as if they purchased. And we could have our premium tools inside here. This could be your entire free software, right? And you can see my calendars just for this one user are in here. But now you have your premium or your bonuses or whatever you so choose inside here. But this is a whole like manager for this whole thing. So now when you guys are deploying software, well, I mean, ultimately, I'm just working on one script. I'm just working on my calendar script. And then I add that calendar script into the software, update my branding, and then the whole entire site is up, ready to go. The next thing is I have this little file manager where you could upload files. The goal is to make it where you guys could just upload the file and you don't even have to do the back end stuff, right? However, I need to make this where it also, right now you guys can go to this website where it says snake.php, but ultimately I need to make it where when you upload those files, it automatically adds the user restrictions also. So ultimately, if you go to this URL directly, you can only see this page if you fall into the admin category of the tab manager. Does that make sense? Or in one of these, like the permissions have to be correct. So I want to make it when you upload the file automatically, it automatically adds that code to your code. to your file itself, and it updates your code. So you guys don't even have to know how to do that, but then it manages it all by itself, and then you can add your software, and then ultimately it's in here. Here's the cool thing is one of these pages could be your pricing page, and the only time that they get past that is when they purchase, and then they get access to the actual software, right? So there's different ways of utilizing this, but this is, now you don't have to make a logout feature. You know what I mean? That's in every software. You don't have to make a forgot password. I already did that. You know, like your login automatically updates your logo. You know what I mean? If we log into this and we go to branding manager, visual identity, and we switch this logo, let's just say we have the My AI Team logo. I could copy this, and it says copy image address. I could just switch out this logo, and then instantly it switches out the logo right here, right? And I could hit save now. And then if I hit save and refresh, well, now we have the new logo, right? And that updates that logo for everywhere that it matters. Okay, so like you don't need to have, you see how like you're gonna have the logo on every page. Well, that's gonna be on your create account page. That's gonna be on your forgot password page. You know, well, that's, imagine if you have to code that up every single time. You know, like that's just the login page, right? The login page is here. Well, that's, as soon as it loads, you know, this is the login. Well, that's 387 lines of code that you would have to code up every single project that you do. Right? So what do I mean by this is ultimately what you guys are going to get, and it's going to happen in the next, like, I'm going to have Paul and Marcelo as you guys are my students that showed up, so you get the reward. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is. You know what I mean? So I appreciate it. Like I fully believe you're not a teacher if you don't have students. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Can I get to the snake game? That's what I really want.
Say that again.
I said, can I get access to the snake game? That's what I really want. Just like,
so you
I used
can
to be into that game, man.
So check out these. So these are where I add my games. It's called games.myaiteam.com. All right. And all right. So this is just the idea of like, I have every Friday, I have what's called Friday Fun Day. All right. And that's literally where I pause all my development, all of my freaking work, all my clients, and I just build whatever the heck I want. It could be a software, it could be a game, it could be anything. Well, this last Friday Fun Day, I built here's what I tested is we could build simple games, right? Here's Wordle, right? Super simple game, right? This took 5 minutes in like AI coding, right? And this is all of this, right? Well, I wanted to see how far can you build things. So when you see this little 3D snake game, well, here was where I got on the idea is there's something called 3JS. All right, so inside my AI team, I learned that the AI knows how to code in 3D. Okay, so well, what does that mean? How far can we push this? So inside here, there's a 3D space tunnel game. This might be the coolest thing I've done with AI coding yet. And the reason I say this is because this uses custom 3D models. And I had some guy on the internet, he says, well, it's not cool unless you could add planets. And he goes, without the AI messing up the entire code. And I said, okay, watch, I'll add planets. So here is the 3D space game. This is all AI coding. I didn't do any of this. Like, look at this. I have spaceships. I could shoot bombs. The little bombs explode. You see there's little planets in this thing? Look, there's the sun. There's Saturn. Look at this. There's Earth back there. This is a full 3D game built into my browser. Like, with space.
That's dope.
Like,
But can you make it look like a Klingon destroyer, though? That's the question.
So here's the thing is these are full 3D models that I didn't make. I just got free off the internet off of a website called CG Trader. However, there's AI models now that can create 3D models. Or you can go buy them, or there's free models on the internet. But I literally uploaded that model to my server, and then I just told the AI, this is where my model is, use these models. That's it. If I go to this game, like if I go to the actual what this is the cPanel. This is all it is. Okay. I went in here to the file manager, just like all of the other cPanels that we have. Right. And inside my subdomain called games, I have the games. And you can see right here, this is the 3D Space Tunnel game, which is an HTML file that I got from my AI team. Okay, look at this. Over here, here's 3D Space Invaders. If I go to this game, like, this is what coded it up. Inside here, like in minutes and seconds. All right, so as soon as it loads. All right, and you can see, here it is. Like, this is the game. And you can see this is the whole entire history. All right, can you make a 3D space runner game? Please let it, like I'm a spaceship flying down a cool little tunnel using 3JS. This was the very first code that I ever made. And I was like, dude, what the heck is this? Like, this is crazy. Like, all right, well, you kind of did it, you know? And then I went to history, right? And then I said, can you make this 10 times better in work, please? Then it did this, which it like still spinning, but it kind of did it. All right. And then I said, can you make the tunnel not spin and give a player a way to shoot? Right. And then now we're here, and now it's still doing this little thing, but now I could shoot. Okay, cool. All right. Well, then I keep going. And then I said, get rid of these giant rings, please. They just kill me when you touch them, no matter what. Right. And then it did. Right. And now we actually had a little game where I'm this little like flying thing. I don't know. All right, cool. Like, this is more than I did in game development in freaking years with Roblox. You know, like, what the heck? This is way better than anything I created. Right. And then it just basically, I got some errors, you know, here's all these things. And eventually I said, I have a 3D model I want to use. Here it is. And then it added that 3D model. And then but the 3D model wasn't like, it didn't work. So then I actually brought that script over to my actual file script, right? Over into here. And you can see right here, this says spaceship.glb. This is my 3D model right here. This is Saturn. Like, this is the Earth. And then this is like, I would try to add alien spaceships, but they look terrible. So I'm going to find a new alien model, right? But this is the sun. And then those are all models that are now inside this game. And now I'm zooming past the sun and, you know, like all of these. And this is a full-on little game that this thing coded up for me.
Would it be copyright infringement to try to find a Klingon warbird?
Does it say that again?
Would it be copyright infringement if I try to find a Klingon warbird?
I mean, so here's the cool thing is there's probably people that have made awesome things like that. So I literally typed in free 3D models. Like, that's like how far I went, right? And I went and I looked at some of the top ones, and I found this site called CG Trader, right? And this site has hundreds of thousands of beautiful models. Look at like an owl that you could add into the game. If you typed in, let me just type in Klingon, right? Like, surely somebody else thought of something cool like this. Look at that. There's some like spaceships. There's some inside of the spaceships that you might have inside of the game. You might literally have this Starship Enterprise as the spaceship.
That's tight.
Right? And these are all models. You could click right here and it goes free. And then these are only the free models. Right? And there's probably not as much, right? However, you might find Trek, right? Trek might be a better word to find this, right? So let's see if I can find Trek. right? Or Starship. You know, now you can find different models of this. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, these are, look at this one's cool. You know, that's $118 for this model, but that's because somebody built this 3D model and you can now code this up. You might code up a website that's not a game, but it's a full 3D interactive website, right? It doesn't have to be just games. And what do I mean by that is this is a 3D login, and literally it's a cube that has a login on it. Why would you ever want this? I don't know. But it has user login and password on it. You know what I mean? And it works better on
you just throw random shit just to see what it does. And
dude, and what happens if this works and we're like, dude, like, look at that, enter your password, and you can click on the cube and you can type in your password on this, you know, like, right? And like it adds, you see how it added it onto the cube? Like, what? Like, what about the user? Can I get the username up on this? Like, can I log in on this? Look, my username. Yes. Right? And what about the login button? You see how I just added it to the actual cube? You know what I mean? That's a 3D world. Like, this took seconds in this software. Look at this. Can you make a 3D login in 3JS? Make the login on the cube, no UI. This is all I said. This is it. This, you see what this is what it originally gave me, and it gave me a little cube in the background, which is cute and cool. I could sit here and type stuff on this, and I like it. But I wanted to log in on the cube. No UI. I was like, what? Like, this is, you know, like, make this 10 times cooler. And you can see right here, it's going to take this code and it's going to update this whole entire code for us. I'm not coding anything. Like, I don't know how to do any of this, like, at all. If you said make this and make, I don't know, I can't help you. But you can see what it's going to do. It's going to update it. The code is magically doing it. You can see I have hundreds of tabs because I do this all day with different things and different projects. That's why I build a game over here, and I build a calendar software over here, and I build a crypto thing for a buddy over here. Look at this. Now we have a 3D world with stars in the background, with like some light, like a little light-like thing going on. Like, what?
could you make like a trading EA bot, expert advisor, sort of an algorithm type of thing to trade automatically?
Are you talking about crypto and stuff? Like,
Not necessarily crypto, but just like trading a certain strategy, coding it a specific strategy to trade automatically so you don't have to do it.
yeah, you know, like, if, don't get me wrong, didn't you start working on something like awesome like that, Paul?
Yeah, I did actually for an indicator to use on TradingView. So yes, definitely.
So really it's about, can you do it? Like you see how I'm just messing with stuff? If you would ask me a week ago, can you make a 3D box that has a login on it? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, can you do it? Paul, like, is over there building indicators. Well, it's like, it's just up to your creativity and how you ask it. Find those API. Like, over time, you're going to get better. Over time, at first, it might not work. And then after some, it's like, oh, dude, that worked. And then it's like, okay, well, what if I ask it like this? And what if I try it like this? You see how this history, if we didn't like this, we could go back. And now I'm right back to here. So if you mess up, well, it's not the worst. Your code is not ruined. You can go back, you know what I mean? And just try it, just test it, see what you can do. I don't know if you could do it, but it sounds like Paul tried it. It sounds like somebody else did it. Anything that's on the internet is code. So why can't we do it? You know, and it's just about knowing that you have to tell this little box right here how to do it. Press generate. If it doesn't work, try again. If you need to work with 3 of them at a time, well, man, work with 3 of them at a time. You know what I mean? Like, you know, just come over here and say trading indicator, right? And I could say create me a trading indicator using trading view, right? And that might give us, I have a little crypto stuff, right? So I like crypto. Let's see, the wallet sniffer. All right. So here's the thing is I'm over here building stuff to be able to secretly find wallets and stuff and do the same thing because I want to do that, right? Like heck yeah. Right. Well, check out this. I also have some folders. I have like little because it's all up to what you possibly can do, right? Well, there's little like things. One of my favorite ones in the little crypto space. After this, let's see what the trading indicator created. Sometimes it works first time, sometimes it doesn't. You just have to keep going back and forth. Let's see where we're at. I've never made a trading indicator in my life, nor do I know what the successful one would look like. All right, but it looks like we pulled in something, trading view. All right, what's this? Nice. All right, it popped up something. All right, we got something. All right, I don't see anything. All right. So I'm gonna type in the secret keyword called make this work. All right.
TradingView uses their own script file called Pine Script, Jeff. So you might have to tell it to code it so it can align with TradingView Pine Script.
Pine. Use Pine Script.
Yeah.
I like this because I'm the type of guy that just goes in and tries to break shit and see if I can fix it. And it seems like this is just what all it is. It's just trial and error, just thinking of creative ways to move forward.
I can't hear you for some reason, Jeff.
Jeff cut us off.
Oh, its mic is tripping. Okay.
I don't know what he said.
So he's gonna come back in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was myself. I was creating my own indicator through. I was going through a cursor and now I'm on Windsurf. But
hopefully that worked.
Yeah, you can definitely make your own indicator. And I had my AI team pretty much, initiate the default code and then move that over to Cursor or Windsurfer. And pretty much had them just align it with TradingView Pine Script and just keep going through trial and error and building on it.
So you're building an indicator, but not for it to for it to trade automatically.
The EA automatic was my next step. So
okay, you want to perfect the indicator where you want it, and then
right,
and then you made it
right, yeah, because you want to try to figure out the whole parameters you want, and
right,
figure out the colors, and,
right.
Yeah, because it's kind of like a tedious process, because I was trying to create a indicator based off engulfing candles, so. Just starting with that step first, and then, building from there. But yeah, it's definitely possible.
Because I was watching this this guy on YouTube that using AI combines different indicators to make one indicator. So basically perfecting it using different indicators to make one new indicator. Like the RSI and the Bollinger Bands and all that stuff. And then he was showing kind of like the ROI and all that other stuff. But so I have sort of a starting place, but I don't really know like how to automate it or where to go to automate it.
Well, I don't necessarily know what files would are in the EA, which automates the sequence, but I'm pretty sure it's something you could just Google to see, what makes a indicator become automated, become an actual EA. I'm pretty sure it's just another code file, pretty much. I'm pretty sure it's just another code
It's just
file
more code
to do that.
Specific code, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Sorry, Jeff. Didn't mean to steal your thunder.
No, you're good. No, I think that's amazing. Like that's huge. I have no clue about any other stuff. I've been trying to learn that crypto, like any trading, and basically because I feel like we have an advantage because we could code stuff up like this. Like for this, I haven't found any like other trading. This is just like, have you guys ever heard of that site called Pump Fun?
Which one?
Pump Fun?
No.
So there's a Solana. It's on the Solana network, but Pump Fun is like, this is not financial advice at all. So Pump Fun, Pump Fun is where like you guys know how they launched that Trump token and all these recently. So that's where they launched it from, is Pump Fun.
Huh.
And Pump Fun allows anybody to create a token, but what it does is it allows every token is a fair launch token. So as soon as you create the token, the only person that could buy it initially is you as the contract owner, and then everything else immediately it gets launched to the public. So it creates fair launch tokens. But this ultimately, what you guys are seeing right now, these are the actual tokens being created live.
Whoa.
Yeah. So every single time you see one of these, this is a token. Every single second, every single few seconds. And these are all the tokens that are being created every few seconds. So
and these are done by other people, correct?
Yeah, they're all created by other people. And you can see these are the messages being traded and all that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So here's what the idea with this is their Pump Fun. The reason why they're huge is because they also released, if you type in Pump Fun GitHub, right? GitHub. All right. Well, Pump Fun allows you to essentially have a ton of API endpoints for those trades. Okay, so right here this is literally like all of these essentially like codes that you can essentially connect to Pump Fun. Let me see if I can find the correct one. But essentially you can build trading bots off of these. And now, like, think about this. So this right here, as we like look at this token watch, every single time one of these happen, they also have an endpoint of buy and sell on Pump Fund. So something like this could be where you could build the entire thing. So all of a sudden you create a software that allows people to snipe new tokens. Based off of the moment they're created, you trigger an event, which the event is a buy. You could set how much you buy, and then it buys a token. And then you created a sniper bot with 2 API endpoints, and the AI coded up the entire thing.
That's crazy. You would basically get it for like less than pennies on the dollar.
That would be too dope.
That would be crazy.
It's all from this. So literally, like, that's AI coded this entire little software, and this is like all I did. So here's the very beginning, right? This is called, so you can see it says, can you make a connection to this WebSocket? A WebSocket is a live connection. An API event is whenever something happens, send an event. All right. So this is essentially like anytime you have chat rooms or anytime you need live events happening, they called WebSockets. Well, this is what's happening. We have a live feed. So anytime a crypto token happens, we can make something happen. You might make a blog post happen. You might make trades happen. You might make a Facebook post happen. You could build anything from this because of this. Look, this is officially broccoli fart coin, right? Like, what is this?
But why would? But I guess the issue with that would be why would you just want to buy random coins that go nowhere, right? Is there a way to make it to where um it's based around like um hmm, something like something that triggers it that shows that has a potential to do something, so you're not wasting your time um just buying random coins that never take off or never launch or whatever, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Bingo. So when you that's that's essentially like, imagine if you could tell the AI, here's my parameters. I want to make sure that you see how it says market cap. I want to make sure it's over a certain amount of market cap. I want to make sure it also has a website and a social media account and all cross-reference these things. Okay. So you're building these things to connect.
Mm.
And now ultimately, right, when you finally get your little trading recipe down, well, I mean, you test it. And ultimately, if it works, dude, heck yeah. Now you bring it over into something like what I've already created, and you put it into a login. And now you make it where somebody could log in and get access to your trading bot. And now you could sell something like this.
Token sniper or something.
Yeah, token sniper, right? Pretty much like, right? Like, so, right? For me, this is called the wallet sniffer, right?
Would you be able to, let's say, connect it to directly to an exchange, Jeff, where, like you said, it automatically, let's say, places $10 on something you want, and since it's automatically connected to exchange, it does the whole transaction from your software for you.
Yes, absolutely. So literally that's inside the salon. I'm going to have to find the actual correct one so you guys get this. I think I might have saved it to my GitHub. But essentially they have a pump fund, like pump fund, full API endpoints that allow you to do that. You could create a whole wallet. Like you could create a wallet that is just a wallet just for that. And then you could send the funds just to that one wallet to have that one wallet be doing the trading. They give you all of those. But it's buy and sell. As soon as I can find it, I'll send it. But you can see how like this one's list pumpkin post tokens, all of that stuff. You see how a lot of them have social medias and stuff. This is all the data that's coming back from the API. So like the mint time, the creation time, all of this stuff. So you could build your UI based off all of that stuff.
That's crazy.
So yes, you can absolutely 1000% buy and sell based off of those events.
The sky is the limit.
Yeah. So
Paul, you should check out Michael Ionita YouTube channel. Ionita, Michael Ionita YouTube channel. He's combining different indicators using AI. And he does something with like webhooks to where it automates it. He has a thing called Signum auto trading using webhooks and alerts through trading view and stuff, but a little bit more above my pay grade. But
can you spell his last name one more time?
Ionita.
Okay. Okay, Michael automates.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He's got some pretty cool, pretty good free ones that I'm wondering if we could just take the pine strip off of it and do something, have some kind of like leap off of that.
Yeah, that's what's kind of cool about a lot of indicators on TraderView. A lot of them make their indicators open source, so you can just snatch the code and then bring it over to my AI team or Cursor or Windsurf and just build off that as a foundation, so we don't have to do too much on the front end.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of reinventing the wheel, make a better wheel.
Right.
So if you look at right here, this is the configuration to actually buy and sell Solana Pump Fund, right? Well, if we wanted to actually like implement this, right, we could copy this. And this might not be the full software for us, but this will give us at least a starting point, right? So we could say, let's see. Somebody said the other day, why is my AI team so slow? Like, don't judge me. All right. So this is, let's say, crypto trader, right? So create me a world-class dashboard for this, right? And I'll just hit paste. And that just pastes in the entire thing. And then from there, we could add it to our folder, right? And it will code it up for us. And a lot of times, like, I don't know what this code does. I'm like, obviously, you start to learn how to read the code over time, but I want it to be able, like, I'm not going to sit here and type it all out. The AI is going to be able to connect to it in a few seconds, and then we can have something that works, or at least gives us a dashboard so we can see, you know, what we're working with.
So is my AI team connected to like OpenAI or something, or an AI thing or whatever?
It is, yes. We use Anthropic, which I thought would be the best. You're right. Sonnet 3.5.
I have no idea what that means, but sounds cool.
Yeah. It's essentially like there's certain AIs, the brain of the AI, that essentially we could use. And OpenAI is a brain. So now we have our whole little like buy sell token functionality here. So add our private key, whatever our private key is, token address, how much we want to buy, slippage, and then we can see our transactions on this. And then you might add this and do a full automated to add it to the sniper, right? To make it where this code is added into the other code. So now it's like, hey, whenever I click it, maybe there's a buy button on each one of those pages or something. So you can manually buy before you turn it fully automated. So there's just different steps in yeah, but as far as the dealer, so think about this is, you see how I just went and got, like, I went to GitHub and I got this code from these guys, and then I said connect to this code. Well, that's essentially what my AI team does, right? My AI team is just the dashboard, and then when you actually hit the create snippet or you hit update, it's the AI behind the scenes is coding. I didn't create the AI. I just get it from a dealer. You know what I mean? Like, we just go over there and you get what's called your API key. So there's this little key option, and then it will say, click here to get your API key. And you add about $10, $20 to this API key, and that's the brain of the AI. That's what's coding for us. All I did was just make it a beautiful little dashboard, and then make it where we could just go back and forth and have this editor. And like, nobody else that I know. I mean, there are other softwares that I use. Like, I use Cursor. I literally use my AI team to build the front end, and then I use Cursor 90% of the other time, right? Like, this is where I'm going back and forth, is my AI team and Cursor all day long.
I had a quick question about Cursor real quick, Jeff.
Yeah.
Because I started off using Cursor, of course, because that's what you recommended, but I'm on Windsurf now.
Okay.
The only reason I switched over to Windsurf was because the price. That's it. And it gave unlimited premium messaging if you want. So my question is, with Cursor, have you experienced any lag as far as response with the amount of work you're doing? Because I honestly did like Cursor's interface better, even though they're kind of the same. But
yeah. I mean, you can see this calendar right here. I mean, it's at 4,789 lines of code. Like, and I mean, I'm going back and forth all day long with this thing. And I mean, it keeps going. It's just adding. And I mean, that's just that one. And I mean, I'm having I'm having no issues. Here's what I've learned. You see this little drop down right here? This is your different models, okay? I use 3.5 Sonnet 99% of the time. However, they recently 03 Mini is really good for these little tiny errors. Sometimes, like, here's how I think about it. Sometimes Claude will get you into it makes the error. Like, it's the one that coded up the error. So when you're trying to sit there and like, hey, fix this error, and it's like, it just keeps going in the error, you know? And I'm like, bro. So what I like is if you switch this, it's like having a different person that didn't make the error. So then it's like not biased to its own self, you know? It's like, you know, so then it's like using a different brain right here. And then it fixes the error. And I'm like, so much better. Like, it's like, oh, yeah, here's this little tiny error if you had it.
Okay, I never thought of that one.
Yeah.
So basically the brain is developing an ego. It's crazy.
Yeah, totally. And it's like, I'm going to code this way.
So I didn't make a mistake. You made a mistake.
Yeah, bro, you're wrong. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I have no issues using massive amount of codes now, even making small updates to this. You know what I mean? Like over here, you can see it says, I'm over here. I said, here's my error. Can you fix it? And then it gives me these changes. Here's how to fix. I press this little apply button. It applies it, and I update the code. And I instantly deploy it on my server. That's it. You know what I mean? Like I just take it. I control Command A, Command C, and I paste it. Soon, that's probably my most used buttons on my Mac now, is just copying and pasting. And then I literally just paste it right into my cPanel server. That's it. Like that's all I'm doing all day with this. So yeah. If I need to start a new page or if I need to start a new project, I'll start it up in my AI team, build the front end, and then I'll plop it over into Cursor. And then Cursor connects to the database. Now this is what's important about this. Inside, you know how you guys got this coming? You guys have this like software dashboard coming? Well, this software dashboard, like this entire thing, let's see where I go back to here. All right. A lot of times you have to connect to your database, right? Well, this actually has the database connection for you already. So now you're not recreating that whole process. You just say, here's my database connection file, connect to the database. And then it just references that database file, and then it connects anything that you need to save to the database. So if any time, right, so Marcelo and Paul, like you guys are going to go through this process, this might be a little far over your head. So wherever you guys are at individually, right, like in the next week or so, let's jump on a one-on-one call, right, and at your guys' schedule and leisure, right, and I'll work around it. But let's get it to wherever you're at, let's get to the next step, right? If it's like you've never deployed something on your cPanel server and you're literally like stuck, well, you're going to share your screen the entire time, and I'm going to tell you where to click, and you're going to do it for the first time. And then you're going to get something deployed on your own server. Because when you start to do this, I promise you, you're going to start to say like, oh, wow, I could do it again. I could do this. I could do this. I could do this. And I mean, we have clients right now that they just signed an extension of monthly services for me to build software for them. And it's like, it's a monthly ongoing contract that I'm going to build software for them. And I'm over here just telling the AI what to code. This has got to be the easiest job I've ever done. Like, and it is a skill. There is errors all day, right? You see right here how this like literally last night, you see how this gap right here, there's this huge gap, and then there's no gap right here. That's an error that you have to go back and forth with it. But if I refresh this page, right, well, guess what? I fixed it, right? The AI fixed the code. But that's just a small little tiny thing in a 2,000 line code that I have to fix. I mean, this whole little idea software like has a today marker on this, right? Like this whole event calendar builder.com was an idea. Hey, I need an event calendar that I could have upcoming events and past events. When you have the past events, I need to be able to click on it and be able to say watch replay. That's it. That's the whole software. Bet. I'll build it. And guess what? I'm going to give this software away for free because it doesn't cost me a dime. And then if they want more than one calendar, then they could pay for the monthly subscription.
Mm.
That's it. That whole software is built. This whole freaking thing, like done. And then you can add to calendar. If you click add to calendar, look at this is a feature that I thought, I wanted to pop up, and I wanted it to make it where it adds to your Google Calendar. You get noticed, and it handles the notice for you, like this whole little software part, right? And now it immediately adds to your Google Calendar, adds the information, adds the Zoom link for it, all the information, how long it's going to be, everything. AI coded that whole thing up with me just saying, make me have an add to calendar button that connects to Google Calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Like this stuff's wild.
So I saw you go to Namecheap, right? So is it basically you're hosting it there on a server there? Like you bought a domain and you're just in the cPanel for that?
That's it. $34.34 a year.
Wow.
All right. That's it. All right. What you're doing is you're going to buy a domain from these guys. All right. A domain. Now, here's the thing. If you already own a server, you don't need to buy a server every time. The server is $24 a year. A domain is $12 a year. So you buy a shared server and you add that domain to the server. If you buy another domain, you don't have to buy another server. You just add that domain to that same server. So it's $12 and you don't have to pay website hosting fees. You don't have to pay any other software service, Bubble or any other thing. You build it on your own server. And then you get this little server stack right here. And then it says go to cPanel. And then that gives you a cPanel right here. This is the cPanel. This is it.
And that's where you put in your code when you create the PHP file.
Yep, in your file manager right here. Yep.
Mm.
And look, in here you
I
can
understand somewhat this one. I'm somewhat familiar with that process, but
yeah. Right. And here you can create your emails, right? So now you have your emails. You could have more domains like WordPress. If you ever want to put a WordPress site on it, you can do all of that stuff. Right. But nonetheless, cPanel is what you need. So 100%.
I think I asked this question before because I think my primary interest, although I'm sure there's multiple for a server, but out the gate is I have a lot of videos that I've ripped that I have on an external hard drive. And I don't want to place it into like a Google Drive or Amazon or something because it's a lot. It becomes a lot, and it's you have to pay accordingly. And so, how much space can't I just essentially create my own Google Drive within a server? And then also that might help because some of these videos that I have, I might like to connect through AI and create summary faceless videos or things. So yeah, first question is, I mean, it's how much storage is there, and can I just create essentially a Google Drive within my own server? And it seems like a cheaper way to do it, and it might just take a few steps to put it all into one file.
Absolutely. Yeah, 1000%. And then inside, like you literally like so some of the servers, there's shared servers. So that's the cheap $34.34 one that I use, right? You could buy other ones that have higher disk space and you could have higher file usage. However, like, I mean, really it just depends on how much space you want, right? But you could absolutely.
How much space does yours have?
It looks like, I mean, I think this is the disk usage, like 20 gigs on this thing. Okay. But yeah, I think I don't think I've ever really had an issue but I mean, you could always upgrade, right? So if you run into that wall, you just upgrade through cPanel, like through Namecheap, and then you could get more. So, but as far as the hosting, yeah, 1000%. You can even build a dashboard that allows you to upload, right? Like you might have a beautiful little dashboard that allows you to upload files, right? So for me, I have a file upload. Well, this is where I can upload my scripts. You might have it where you can upload your video. And then you build a little code to make it where it easily uploads to your server. and now it displays, and now you can manage them just like this. And now, each one has a link, because when you upload it, so if I go to here, like, let's just say on my server, so we're in my server, you see how I have logo.png right here? Well, that logo, if I go to eventcalendarbuilder.com/logo.png, it'll probably download my logo, but there's my logo. So when you upload a file to your server, that's all it's doing. It gives it a file. Like this is where you can find that file. Well, that's all we're doing inside these is essentially that exact thing. I uploaded that, and now where is that located? Well, it's located on this domain, and that's the file name, logo.png. Yours would just be Troy's video.movie.
Hey, Troy, another thing that you could probably try on your cPanel is when you create an email, you can assign the amount of storage that you want to dedicate to that email. And you could just, I don't know how many emails you could have, but you could create an email like faceless at whatever your domain name is, and then just upload your videos, your faceless videos there, and then, create, so you have subcategories for each email, and it has a certain amount of storage. I know that you could do that.
Yeah, I just have a huge library of things that I would like to have accessible from different locations, and I was thinking about the best way to do that without just I just have too much to put on a Google Drive that maybe not really. I guess it just comes down to using it. I don't want to sidetrack anything you're already talking about, but I was curious about the server thing, and it comes down, I guess you'd be able to create a site, maybe password protected, where you could then share essentially access. So to all of us, we might be able to share access to certain videos or certain things. But back to what was that thing you just showed about? And sorry, I was late on the call. I'm in Vegas. I'm here for Funnel Hacking Live.
Nice.
And yeah, it's long, but I don't need to be there this morning. There's a couple speakers I don't need to see. You just showed that calendar thing, and what was it? Calendar, video, then replays. Could you go back over that real quick? I'm curious about that.
Yeah, what'd you think of it?
I'm trying to understand exactly what it was.
Yeah. So ultimately, I had a client that needed live events. Okay, basically they needed to have like their coaching calls in one area, so you could see like, hey, we have a coaching call on Tuesday at what time, right? And so now you could see that basically that class. All right. So let's go back here. 1 second. All right. So now you can see when this class is happening, all the information, all of that. Well, she also needed the ability to have the replays. Okay. So to be able to click on it and see this event happen, and to be able to watch the replay from here, really easy in one location. So she needed that. Well, I just turned it into a software. Right. And now we have a full on little, so kind of what you were just saying a few seconds ago, Troy, where like we would put it in like a little token gate, right? Like a behind the scenes, where not token gate, where the users could only see it, and maybe in a private area. Well, that's what this is. So inside for like today, this little class, basically I was showing you guys something that I built, which is this whole entire software template. And now this software template gives you the ability to say, here's your permissions. So if you're a user, you could have access to these ones, the calendar builder. If you're a premium user, only if you're paid can you have access to this, right? But you might have that only if it's a team member. And now your team member has access to these, and that only the team members can upload the videos. You know what I mean? So AI just coded up that little, like, let's see where it's at, right? So we have our dashboard, video storage. Let's see.
So you say you're going to offer one calendar free and then paid for others? But is that per event? Is that what you're saying?
No. So you can have as many events as you want, but you see how I have multiple calendars over here on the left-hand side? I'm going to make it when you click on add calendar and you don't have the premium plan, it's going to say subscribe to get the premium version.
What would be an ad calendar? I mean, I'm picturing, like, say, for my mom's real estate office,
Yeah.
why would we need more than one calendar? Or we would get one for free.
Yep, you get one for free. Yeah.
Okay. And I could put as many events in there as I want with access to recordings.
100%. Yep. And now this is just a free little software. And check out this. This is inside here. We have this little share. That's not working right now, but I'll get it going. Right. But ultimately it makes it so it could embed into the entire, like, your coaching area, right? You could embed it into any software. So this is our client's area. Well, this is the software embedded. And now it embeds into any other website beautifully. Now you have the whole software right here, and you could put it on your website and domain if you wanted. So cool. This little software is really just, I had a client that needed a need. We built the software. Now I have an asset that I could sell on a monthly basis, and she gets to use it for free. You know what I mean? And now it's a software that I could sell in a bit, and it might make a couple bucks. It might not. It's all right. But it only took me a week to build, and knowing how to build these little softwares and building it and having a template that we don't have to freaking create everything. Like, ultimately, you shouldn't have to recreate the login, the logout, the ability to, like, manage your data, set the branding, like, that's a lot of work. You know what I mean? Like, now if I want to switch this logo back, I can, right? Visual identity, event logo, bam, and now save. And now it updates my logo here. So ultimately, we don't want to have to recreate these entire softwares every single time we need to update these. So how do we do it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So now you can see we have this little dashboard, the video storage. Well, if I wanted to add this code to my software, I could hit copy code. And if I go into my cPanel, okay, so we're on this site. We're in this one. Let's make sure I'm in the right cPanel, which is attorney search. All right. And if I go into here, and here's my event calendar builder. And if I type in, let's go video manager.php. Okay. And if I hit create new file, this just added the video manager here file, and I hit edit. We will paste this. Okay. This is the whole entire code for our video manager. Well, if I wanted to add this video manager to our software now, right? Well, I could go in here. I could grab this URL, come in here into our tabs. I can go in here to the add menu, and I could say video manager, add the URL, add a little cool icon that's like video, right? Which that one looks cool. All right. And I hit save. And then refresh the page, and now we have Video Manager on the left-hand side, and see what it coded up. All right, so this is what it coded up. I'm going to tell the AI I have. I'm going to say I got this error. Please fix. Boom. All right. I don't know what the error said, but that's how we fix it. All right. Once this is done coding it up, then we're just going to add the code back into the other area. Any second. You guys are here live, so we can't fast forward this. All right, so that just coded it up. Copy this. Now I come back into my video manager, save, go back into my dashboard, click it, still have this error, message, success, false. All right. I'm going to say I still got this error. Please fix. Oh, I think I know what is wrong. It's creating a data table right here. But it doesn't know to connect to my database. Interesting. Don't use my database. Just allow me to upload. And let's see what happens. The only reason I see that is because I could see where it says create a table. I just don't feel like connected to my database right now. But all right, so videos DB. Nice. Let's see what it does now. All right, we'll go here. Video manager. We can upload here. Save. And back to this. Snake game is in there. Video manager. All right, video title. I'm going to say test. And let's see if I have a video. All right, that one is huge. That's 40 seconds. All right, upload video. Expect, see if I got an error. I did. All right, so yeah, so ultimately this is just the process that you would go through if you wanted to bring this to life. So yeah, and then you can see we have the little software dashboard that makes it where we could add it pretty easy. Hopefully I didn't lose you guys. So, so what do you guys think? You guys dig this little dashboard template? You think that's going to help?
I think it's. I definitely think it's awesome, especially for my personality. Like when I'm doing 1,000 billion things at once, just be able to, have a dashboard and be able to funnel future clients or whatnot just directly from there instead of have to log into each site or go to each site and track it like that. So I definitely think that was a great idea, for you to make something like that, Jeff.
Sweet. Yeah. Like I said, in the future, we're going to be selling it for $1,000. Okay. So ultimately that's one of the things. And I feel like there's still a few ways away but the way I built the entire code makes it where I can, if you guys ever have to update, we could easily update it for you. Like it's all individualized in a code. And then you could see how we just easily add new things. So in the future, I'll have a pricing table. So all you have to do is add your Stripe button, your Stripe in there, and then now you just input it, you know what I mean? And now the Stripe's already connected. However, right now, it's just kind of, we're getting there, making it where it's pretty easy for at least the basics. And then you can manually update it, or you could add it to go high level, sends the webhooks. So cool. All right. Well, yeah. If you guys like during on this, like I said, I'm going to send you guys the code here shortly. And then also, if you guys want to jump on a one-on-one call to like go through this process on how do we actually set it up, and wherever you're at, I'll help you get to the next step, no matter where it's at. So if it's deploying your first code or building your first software, wherever it's at, will help. So
yeah, definitely reach out. Yeah, we'll work around your schedule or my schedule, whatever.
Sweet. Sound good. All right, guys. Great call.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks for showing up today. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
All right.
Appreciate it, bro.
Love you guys. Yeah.